Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features two teams looking for a win. It's the Raiders coming in at 12-0, going up against the Jets, who come in at 3-9. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's a day, Larry, that fans in these parts will need to savor as we come to you from the East Bay and Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting... Jets. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. They go play action here on first down. Brett's coming, and down he goes. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
An opening drive sack. Here's Procise. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Brandon, with the last couple of plays for the offense not being good at all, my thought process as a coordinator, get the ball in the hands of my best player and see if I can salvage anything out of this drive.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll dump it off to Procise. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The numbers for Yeldon on the ground last week. 15 carries, 64 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go into top contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
They'll try and run for it with Yeldon. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 4-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal now. Maybe the offensive coordinator thinking blitz here. They showed off a nice juke of the defender, but the next wave there to bring him down. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Well, you had the punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now.
Oh, man, that was close. An opportunity to change momentum. Big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. Offense now making their way toward the huddle. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-0 is our score. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Now they'll throw with Carr. Sanders has it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
throwing on second down. And brought in by the tight end Cook. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Throwing his car on third down. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, you can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. T.J. Yeldon working his way back out onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable. And really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Again, it's Yeldon. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
To throw on 3rd down. Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Open man, there is Patterson, complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go. 3-39.
He'll look to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Looking to throw. And that is caught by Ardarius Stewart. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. He'll look to throw. Left side here, caught by Clay. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Here we go on 1st and 15.
Here we go now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. Give him 14 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Davante Adams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to make this a close game again. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. Carr now on 1st down. He goes underneath for Yeldon. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Carr to throw on 2nd down. This is Yeldon on the dump off. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Carr. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. They've gone to the second quarter now in Denver. The Chargers have taken the early lead over the Broncos. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The drive starts with C.J. Procise. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
So we've reached halftime here in... Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. Now comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they'll go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On second down, here's Yeldon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
That's complete. It's Gordon. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Taken in at the 22. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
This is Procise, and he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Right back to Procise. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back to throw here. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. And Zerline's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. A decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And our attention turns now to T.J. Yeldon. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
They begin with a run by Yeldon. And some room to roam now. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. A big play that time for the Raiders. 56 yards.
T.J. Yeldon's not afraid to drop a shoulder or run through some tackles, is he?
Not at all. I learned it in his high school days in Alabama. Then, of course, stayed in state to play at Alabama. He could do that there.
And what I think is best about him, and when he's really on top of his game, when he's a little bit lighter, a little bit quicker, I think he's strong enough. He's compact enough.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. T.J. Yeldon, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Tajay Sharp, the intended target, and it's 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Back to throw. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On play action, they'll throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
He hits his running back, Procise. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So that'll back him up 5. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Back to throw again. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there. Really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
They'll try and run down here with Procise. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
This will be taken in at the 1. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Now they'll run it on the toss. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So the run gets them the 1st, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now they'll throw with Carr. They go with a screen. It's Yeldon. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A good pickup there at 22.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And past the 30 down to about the 27. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Now as we look down, it appears we've got a jet shaken up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Getting late here in the 4th, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get the timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. There's a give to Yeldon. And fights through one man. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. T.J. Yeldon, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The left side throw complete to Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. Back to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. C.J. Procise was the intended target. And now it's third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now back to throw. And Adams has it complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Looking to throw. That's complete over the middle to Stewart. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets. They'll set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Khalil Mack. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They're in the fourth quarter in Denver. And the Broncos, they have moved ahead of the Chargers late. Dak Prescott, dynamite thus far. He's working on a 400-yard afternoon. And he'll give it here to his running back. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue.